Hello and welcome again to Park City Livin podcast. This is Park City Jimmy, and you know I'm ready to make my entrance, so please listen up because I'm about to rip it up. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but I do want to make one point that my podcast is very authentic, meaning some of the background noise, you might hear buses right behind my office. It backs up to the bus station on Sweet Alley, literally where I'm sitting, and then the front door opens to Park City Main Street. So I'm very close on the front lines of Park City, Old Town, historic Main Street. But anyway, an amazing guest on today. But before we get to him, I just wanted to announce that the Sundance dates are out January 28th to February 3rd. So make your plan for that. It is an abbreviated session and festival, but nonetheless, we're having it. So I'm excited for that. And then if you felt like your pass was cut short over quarantine, the Epic Pass is extending a credit through September 7th. So go to epicpass.com and you'll be able to get a credit as you book your new season pass for 2021. We have the showcase of homes still going on through this weekend. We had a great last weekend, and basically lots of fun activities going on. So stay apprised with Park City Jimmy, parkcityjimmy.com. And so now let's get to our next guest. Very cool guy. I'm excited to have on Dr. Robert Masson from the Masson Spine Institute right here in Park City. And Dr. Masson has accomplished so much in his life that we'll get to. And if you have the privilege of following him on Instagram or social media, but he carries a certain humility with all the stuff that he's accomplished. So from Aviator to race cars to all of his athleticism in tennis, golf, outdoor recreation, fitness, he's exactly what I hope I can do and maintain in my life as well. But Doctor, I'm excited to have you on. How you doing?
Hey, Jimmy, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's hard to stay humble with that intro. Thanks.
You come from Florida, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're out of Orlando right now. And we've been there for, 25 years. And,
wow.
You know, we've also shared a home here in Park City. We love Park City since 2009. And, you know, it's been a several-year project to build our practice satellite location here. So we're really excited about being here.
And how long have you had the place here?
We acquired the real estate about 2013, 2014. And then it was just a slow evolution of all the moving parts. I'm involved in a lot of tech, a lot of innovation out of Orlando, and it gets pretty hectic there sometimes. So I really wanted to make sure we started at the right time. And ironically, there's been several disruptions in healthcare and telemedicine and technology at large. And then this COVID thing, which derailed everybody's best plans for 2020. Right. But ironically for us, it was the perfect opportunity to seize the moment and start care here. You know, hospitals were increasingly shut down and closed. We had a lot of a shift towards outpatient surgery. People at large are scared of getting infected and scared of hospitals, and everything we do is more holistic and outpatient based. So it's been a really unique silver lining in an otherwise terrible year, but we always try to find opportunity and adversity for people. So we're just thrilled to be here.
Yeah, well, we're thrilled to have you. I think your institute and you will be and are assets to our community. Did the world-class medical facilities in Salt Lake have anything to do with you choosing Park City, or you just had a love of Park City and wanted to set up here?
Yeah, no. Well, so I have a lot of friends and a lot of collaboration here in Salt Lake, both at the U and with local providers. I'm actually partnered here with Dr. Armin Kachatarian out of the Valley, and he's also a world-class spine surgeon in his own right. And he and I are principal investigators on cervical artificial disc together. So we know each other extremely well.
Wow.
But that's not why I'm here. The reason I'm here is just we love Park City. When I was in medical school, one of my goals, when you're a young immature doc, and
making your fantasy plans.
Yeah, you have these pie in the sky dreams, and whether it was Aspen or Park City in those days, having the equivalent of a Stedman clinic, and I've always looked up to those pioneers in sports orthopedics. I do spine surgery with the same kind of passion for sports and recovery and functional performance. We don't do it to disable people. We do it to try to return people back to a holistic life and fitness culture. So yeah, being
perfect for here.
Yeah, being in this kind of environment where everybody is committed to their best self, we love that. Absolutely. At the end of the day, when you do this a lot, the surgery's the boring part. What's exciting is the compelling stories and the stories of recovery and the stories of overcoming. And I get to do that on a daily basis. So, and that inspires me. We inspire to inspire. So,
well, and your lifestyle and your own activity is a testament and speaks to you're practicing what you preach and operate. And it's cool to follow you on Instagram. How long have you been playing tennis?
I started, it was my gift to myself when I finished surgical training. I played football in college and as a kid, I never had the resources for quote unquote tennis lessons, but I played quarterback. I ended up going to the University of Florida as a quarterback. And, first gift out of residency was a tennis coach, and really love it and play it pretty religiously now.
So of all your activities, what would you say is your favorite for fitness?
It's an impossible question because
you're always trying new things too.
Yeah, I love learning new things because they make me better at the things I'm already trying to get better at. Everything you said about what I do well, it's kind of in a weird way because I'm a malcontent. I'm never good enough, and I'm always wanting to push myself. So everything I try in some small way, expands me for other things. And so I love tennis. I love skiing. I love snowboarding. I race prototypes with my first board.
Yeah. So even with those prototypes, how long have you been doing that?
6 years. Started it as chaperone to my, at the time, 16-year-old who ended up being
BMW MA or
WeatherTech, which is IMSA. And, but Kyle's already won the Rolex 24 once. He's run the Sebring 12-hour twice now. He's won 4 championships at the pro level. And I, as his dad, I got to be on the second step of the podium at the Rolex 24 in 2019 in the prototype class. So we did that together, which, completely indescribable.
Your position to do that. I'm my family's big into NASCAR. My sister-in-law is Ray Abraham's personal assistant. She has been for 20 years. But obviously, there's 2 different types of racing in different circuits. But
NASCAR owns IMSA. Yeah, NASCAR owns IMSA, and they run it. So and I've become a doctor around the paddock for NASCAR, for IMSA, for IndyCar. So it's it's had parallels. Again, everything has tentacles, and when you push and you meet people and you become part of the culture, whether you're a participant or support, it doesn't matter. You're part of the family. And that's what racing has been for us.
Neat. That's cool that you bring all of this locally here for Park City to enjoy and learn from. So what would you say of all your passions, and we haven't even got into like aviation, what kind of engines are you flying?
Right now I have a Baron 58, a twin. So I've flown that for 20 years. I learned in the Navy how to fly. I wanted to be an astronaut. That's where this all started. And it derailed when the Challenger blew up, and it wasn't clear where the space program was going to go. But I was doing research in biomedical science. I was biomedical engineering at the time. I had research going on and was going to med school because in those days it was a great way to get on the shuttle to have advanced medical and biological background. And the head of neurosurgery asked me to apply for training, and I applied and crossroads.
That's what, another 6 to 7 years?
Yeah, that was 7. That was 7 years after med school. Yeah. So, but life pivots. You don't always know what you're going to end up doing, but when it makes sense,
you prepare and get in position. And
absolutely,
things open up.
Yeah, the more you're prepared, the more opportunities come your way. And that's when adversity hits, you jump, and you can really accomplish a lot more than you think. So
to that thought, do you mind if I share a quote by you? It's and I think it should be applied to everybody in every field and every endeavor. but you say, my optimism and positivity is aimed towards overcoming predictable adversity with a cynical acceptance that it is inevitable that we all deal with tremendous stress, loss, and hurt as we navigate our paths towards our best self forward. And I love that, brother. I think that hits home for people of all walks and anybody I think the challenge is being honest with yourself and real with yourself and seeing adversity for what it is. And like you said, the overcoming of the process. Can you speak to that a little bit? It looks like in order to do what you've done, you've had to overcome and probably seen a lot of adversity.
That's kind of the nature of this career path I've found myself on, this journey. And, there are different ways to look at it. I've been just enthralled with the overcoming aspect of being a neurosurgeon. You see so many people who've lost so much and have
defeatist attitudes maybe sometimes, or you
see the opposite. You see
the courage of it, huh?
And sometimes you can take someone from the first group and where they've given up at hello. Sometimes the system has given up on them, but if you can find a way to inspire them, to give them hope, to give them optimism, it's a pretty dark field if you focus on the negative and the statistics. On the other hand, if you're an overcomer, the key is finding ways to succeed. And the most resilient people, the most positive and optimistic and hopeful people, find ways to make the most of their lives. Like when I did more trauma and I wasn't embraced in this more predictable elective surgical platform. But I ran the trauma center at Orlando Regional Medical Center, which is a big level 1 trauma center, 15 traumas a night, and we'd have paralyzed people all the time. The last thing on earth we would ever do is tell someone you're never going to walk again. In my opinion, that is the worst thing you could do for somebody, because at the end of the day, the only way you guarantee you won't is if you don't try.
On the thought of overcoming, in a previous conversation with you, you kind of had a really cool point that kind of hit home for me. And you said that even if you were to lose your legs, or even if you were to become paralyzed, you've learned and you've seen other people overcome so much, where there's so much life to be had and so much joy to still be had in that predicament. So your eyes and what you've witnessed, I think a lot of people can really learn from.
Yeah, Park City's lucky to have an organization that I'm sure everybody who lives here knows, National Ability Center. And it's always been a massive inspiration to me to see what NAC does and offers to people. And they're a great example of a boots on the ground advocacy force to teach people how to be their best selves forward, regardless of their physical situation, regardless of what's happened to them in their life. And I've always looked at neurosurgery that way. I've always looked at, recovering from any kind of healthcare crisis, whether it's an orthopedic trauma or a spine trauma or a cancer or anything else. How you embrace it, how you challenge it, how you defeat it is part of your human experience. And
absolutely,
you can succumb to it, or you can, fight back. And so the best stories and the most amazing situations are to watch those people who literally seize their life, even in the bad times. And you see great things out of that.
Find the good and find where you're going to focus your energy and what you can still bring about.
Absolutely. It's the whole never give up philosophy, the Jimmy Valvano cancer thing. You always push, always. Life is too great. So.
Well, yeah, that's neat, my man. And your own athleticism, doing these backflips, and you better be careful. But it sounds like I don't think you have any fear for any of the stuff that you're doing. The aviation, your fitness, your dirt biking, your race car driving.
Yeah, I've had my injuries. I have my own artificial disc in my neck that I had in 2013, and I shattered my clavicle on the right, and I've got a plate and 8 screws there. But, I'm a big advocate for rehabilitation. And, even in the face of physical limitation and pain and agony, it's really important that people continue to be as active and physically relevant as possible adaptively, of course. You don't want to go out of your way to damage the damaged part, but the stronger you come into an intervention, even the better you're going to do on the back end in recovery. And that's why athletes it's so obvious that pro athletes bounce back from surgery better than anybody. And the reason is they show up strong. And that's been one of our mantras for years, is show up strong. Whatever it is you do in your life, whatever it is that you've got coming to you health-wise that you don't expect, the better you take care of yourself, the best you're going to come out of it. And it's a way of life.
A way of life, lifestyle, physical maintenance, and fitness.
Yeah, and preventative health is finally starting to grasp hold in the United States. Our health has been a little chaotic in the last several years, but I think there's a national trend for people to take a lot more seriously what they can do for their future health. And anything I can do to advocate for that, I will always try to be a sounding board for that.
Neat. Yeah, I think this community embodies a lot of that.
Exceptionally so.
Right.
So. Yeah.
Right. So of all of your accomplishments, and again, I know you have this humble aura about you, but what would you say is your number one or your greatest accomplishment thus far?
Honestly, it's cheesy in a way, but it's my kids and the things I've done with my kids. And I hate to ice out my other four. I have five, but being on the podium at the Rolex with my firstborn was unbelievable. I mean, it's just indescribable. So,
because you know what it took to get there, and
Yeah. I mean, it was by no means a foregone conclusion. I mean, the odds of me getting to that level of racing were slim to none at hello, but we just, we went through every step of the process together. I was there as role model. He was there as coach because he's better than me. And so what an amazing role reversal to have your kid teach you how to be better at something that high performance. And yet you're still dad to kid and managing the dynamics in both directions. And it was fascinating. And I learned so much more about myself than anything I've ever done. But I just love every growth experience with all my kids and teaching them to ski. I've taught them all to ski. I've taught them all to mountain bike, and then watching them get better than me is the highlight. So
yeah, absolutely. I'm a little behind you in raising my children, but children or people, like, I think if somebody doesn't have any children, but that investment in people is, I love that answer, my man. I think that's indicative of who you are as a person as well. But having people adopt and improve and develop on account of our emotional investment in time, I think those are the greatest rewards, probably.
Yeah, it's definitely what's the most gratifying. What you do for yourself, I mean, that's your journey. And obviously you want to celebrate it and push yourself. But when you make an impact on other people around you, that's where it's relevant. And, I've always tried to embody that the best I could. God knows you fail more than you succeed, but if you try, if you do it enough times, you have a whole lot of successes, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Well, you're an extraordinary human, my brother. I have one more question on a day in the life of a micro neurosurgeon. We've talked about like your hobbies and accomplishments, and some of the work at your institute. But in a day in the life, I mean, you just finished up some surgery, didn't you?
Yeah, we did 2 this morning at our surgery center here in town, and it was a great morning, incredible morning. And we've been nice roll through the summer, and even in these times where people are delaying their health care because of COVID. When you deal with spinal cord and nerve disorders and severe disc disorders with horrible leg pain, horrible arm pain, losing your arm function, losing your leg function, it's pretty easy to keep going. And it's been actually very gratifying to get to do what I do during this crisis. Yeah, because we definitely have a positive spin on the craziness. And I think that's been really advantageous.
Yeah, I bet. So again, you're an extraordinary person. I know doctors aren't exactly always available, but let me just give you a plug on Instagram. You can follow Dr. Masson on Instagram, Robert Masson X. That's RobertMassonX on Instagram. He gave me his personal cell phone number. It's 435. No, I'm just kidding. But no, great guy. Follow him, and you'll see him around town too. And if you see him, say hello. As you can see, he's a very personable guy. So thanks for coming on, Dr. Masson.
No, well, thank you so much, Jimmy, for having me. And just everybody out there in Park City, I feel so fortunate to be part of this community now. And I really look forward to a lot that's coming. We have a lot of exciting things coming. So thanks to everyone.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Take care.
Wow, what a pleasure it was to have Dr. Robert Masson on. What an interesting individual. A spine micro neurosurgeon, athlete, aviator, explorer, prototype racer, fitness addict, and just a highly successful businessman, but a great asset to our community, and grateful to, again, have a cool discussion with him. If I had an hour, he could have told us about team performance, working with getting the right people on the bus, and having his pit crew, so to speak, with him in his operations. They travel with him, but very cool individual. Thanks again, Robert. I wanted to highlight a property. As you know, I'm a real estate broker right here, downtown Park City, with Vacasa Real Estate. And the first place I wanted to tell you about is 311 Woodside Avenue, right downtown Park City, an exceptional location and own a piece of history. Best locations in Upper Woodside Park City. So obviously close to skiing, restaurants, and the shops on Main Street. But a chance to get a foothold in this amazing community. It's priced at $1,895,000, 4-bedroom, 3 baths, and 2,135 square feet. Finished superb. So check that one out. MLS number 120-3186. All right. And for the last house, I wanted to talk about what? Oh, what? Hey, dude, I'm doing a podcast right now. Oh, sorry, man. I wanted to pop in and just say hello, dude. What's your name? My name's Rusty Baker. Well, what are you looking for a house? Well, yeah, man. I mean, right now I live in my parents' basement, but oh yeah, like how long have you done that for? Dude, I don't know, like since 1998 or something. Oh, really, man? Well, so like now's the time you think you're ready to buy? Well, I always want to buy, man, but like my job, like sometimes it just doesn't last as long as I want it to. What do you mean, man? Like, is it just a competitive marketplace where, I mean, I heard jobs are pretty easy to come at. No, you got it all wrong, man. What I do is a specialty. Like I work, no one knows these mountains like I do. And I know like the hills and how to like ride down them and all the backcountry secrets. So, oh, okay. So you're saying like, kind of since we're out of season, no. I can work anywhere. I'm super talented. I can do any of this. Well, dude, what I'm trying to do this podcast. Like, can you help me like introduce this house right here? Let me see. What is it? The Castle House in White Pine Canyon. Yeah, that's it. Dude, that place is sick if you want to live like Snow White the rest of your life. What do you mean? It's gorgeous, right? Like well, yeah, I mean, it's a real unique style. 212 White Pine Canyon Road for $14 million? Yeah, that's a pretty good price considering where it's at. Whoa, man, $14 million, 5-bedroom, 8-bath house, 15,000 square feet. Whoa, that's crazy, man. Yeah, it's beautiful. So you said it's Rusty Baker? Yeah. So, and you live in your parents' basement, you looking for a job. Let me just say, hey guys, anybody out there looking for a guy that knows the mountain, needs guided hikes, that needs, can you flip burgers? Dude, I'm through flipping burgers and frying fries. I'm getting it together and I realize, wait. Is that like your rap or something? No, it's just anyway. Well, yeah, what if we set up a time for you to come back? You can help me with some marketing and I'll have you on as a guest sometime. That would be great, man. Anything I could get. I'm just ready to really get an adult job now. Well, dude, that's Park City's got that for you. And you got seems like a really high qualified set of skills. So let's get you to work. Oh man, I appreciate that. Would be great, dude. All right. Take care, man. We'll get back to this. All right. See you, man. All right. Bye. All right. Thanks, Rusty. All right. So that house, so 212 White Pine Canyon is listed by Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. But again, look up parkcityjimmy.com. This is Jimmy Eaton, real estate broker. Let's get working. parkcityjimmy.com, 801-404-0900. Until next time.